That banner fits too, because like your head fits perfectly in there. So
I noticed that after. I was like, yo, my head's gonna go with the logo, but maybe hey, it's
got your name though behind it. You know, that works still.
Yeah, I like it, bro. I like it as a background. But what's up? See us again. For those of you that are watching after the fact on YouTube, welcome. This is going to be our very first episode of what we're actually going to call the Primecast. Got a nice little, very simplistic theme as far as naming goes for these podcast type style videos that we're making. We clearly didn't think about it too much, but this is going to be more of an introduction. We all know that Overprime, Paragon The Overprime just came out early access within the last week, right? Official early access. There's a lot of things that have happened, a lot of things that have caused a wave of reactions throughout, and we're going to get deeper into it. But beforehand, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves as far as this video goes. If we could do Menace, Bearded, and then myself, we're basically going to go tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you're all about, and then we're going to dive into the subjects.
All right, everybody, I am Menace Rex. I am a partner with Paragon The Overprime, longtime great friend with Bearded and Windu here. I guess you can say I'm getting into making mobile content now, post daily on YouTube, and we're aiming for streaming every day once my move to Florida is complete. But I appreciate you guys for bringing this idea up to me, and let's get the show on the road.
All right. What's going on, everybody? I am the Bearded Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder, and very excited to bring this content to you. I love doing these shows. We started with the Default Partner panel. Obviously, that's no more. So I wanted to expand these shows. So I reached out to Windu and Menace, and I'm all about continuing these contents. So, and I love playing the game Paragon The Overprime. So I can't wait to talk more about it in these episodes with you guys.
Yeah, Bearded and I agreed a while ago. We went back when we were doing Fault videos. We're like, we got to do one of these about Pred. We got to do one of these about Overprime. But we're going to wait until they're early access in order to be able to get a nice steady flow of information going and everything, right? So
exactly.
Predecessor was last week. Paragon The Overprime is this week. Be mindful, guys. This specific podcast is going to be mainly focused on Paragon The Overprime. We will compare the game to other games like Predecessor, League of Legends, Smite, etc. But we will try to keep it as focused on Paragon The Overprime as possible. Now, with that in mind, I want to hit you guys with just a basic, simple question here. What was the very first match in Paragon The Overprime like for you?
We're talking
early access.
Early access.
Early access. Early access. I'm not talking about how did you feel a year ago? How did you feel last week? When early access came out and you got in there, what were your reactions? What were your thoughts?
Well, I'll go first here. I think my first game I only played with Stunt, so we had a lot of randoms on the team, and it was complete horrible. Whether it's new, whether it's trolling, whether it's inexperienced, whatever the case may be, it was not. And I mean, you guys know me, and for the people in chat, you guys know me. I'm more of a competitive gamer. I'm not the casual gamer by any means. But it was a complete, for lack of better terms, a complete shit show. People were everywhere, and it just wasn't the most fun. And it's just solely because of that.
I think that's my biggest issue, and I agree with you. With my first matches, actually, I was able to team up with a bunch of us, so I think we had a full 5-stack when I first joined, right? Or maybe it was a 3-stack, and then we grew into a 5-stack right away. Because I joined a little bit later. When I come on, I don't start playing until after 7. So I enjoy it. I love getting on the game, playing with the comms, and we can sit there, just go back and forth. Hey, we're over here, over there, whatever. All the great call outs. And that's what I love about us three and the two others that we have doing that content creator unite that we're doing. The call outs are great. But anyways, my first match, it was good. It was what I wanted it to be for PTO. Right. Because the backpedaling a little bit, the CBT2, I wasn't impressed with Paragon The Overprime. This is not a game I wanted to play. It was, it just wasn't there. Final test, seeing the changes that they made, and it felt more of a MOBA instead of just literally straight brawler, right? I literally was that person. I would tell you that it was a brawler, right? I know that it technically, it's got towers, it's got neutral objectives, it has MOBA objectives in it, but CBT2, that was a brawler. when you get your 3, you get all your abilities unlocked right away, you know, all that stuff. You know, it literally was just showing you, hey, TDM. This is all this is TDM right now. So when they changed that to in the final test and you actually had to play it, that I'm like, oh, this is what I like. And it had issues. It had some bugs that definitely need to fix. So playing the actual early access and seeing those bugs maybe weren't completely fixed, but were a little more controlled, I guess would be the word I want to say. Like, you know, because if you play a melee character right now, you still get some moving around, some shake, but it's not as aggressive as it was, right? I was playing Fang Mao and I wasn't like all over the place. I was just bouncing around back and forth. So it's more controlled, I guess I would say. The bug is still there. There's still some issues to it, but it's definitely fun and I really enjoy it.
I wish I had something to show like a representation of what you're saying, because I had a conversation with somebody who was newer to the game and he said the same thing. But after explaining to him that there's 2 different animations for when you're actually in contact with hitting something, and then when you're just hitting clean air, like there's an actual on hit effect, and the guy had no idea that was a thing. So to anybody in chat that, you know, that doesn't know that there is an actual on hit animation, that's why it looks like it stutters a little bit when you slash across a character with a melee primarily, for example. But there are still I think I was playing Kwong and I was still having just a little bit of issues when I was doing his upward dash on his animation for that auto attack chain he has. But yeah, I completely agree.
I guess I would say that I understand wanting to have that on hit effect, but I almost think that it's just too strong. When it makes it look like your character is stuttering, you know, then I think that's just too much. I think
screen shake makes it worse.
I think in a game like this, I think what you want is just audio feedback, right? You just having that audio that you know that you made that contact is, you know, it doesn't need to be a visual. I don't need to see my guy like just bounce around or whatever. I just give me the audio that it's like a good sound. Like if I swing and miss, it has a sound. If I swing and hit, it's got a different sound. Like, oh, okay,
right.
That makes sense. It doesn't have to be a different animation, but the on-hit effect that you like, the feedback that you get from it audio-wise could be good enough, by all means.
Yeah, because to me, it makes me feel like I'm like the game's like I'm lagging. Like I'm like, all right, what's going on? Like I'm over here, I'm over there. But and then all right, so take me as an ADC main, right? I play ranged characters, so I'm the hero in front of me is now I'm moving my mouse because I'm thinking, all right, my guy's moving, so I'm trying to hit this guy as on melee, and I'm bouncing around, and I'm like, what is going on? Like how am I supposed to be hitting this guy? When technically I'm actually just standing in front and it just looks like I'm moving around. And that's just like, it's just off-putting, you know, and I just want that to be toned down or something. It's better than it was in the final test is what I'm saying. So I love the improvements they're making. I just need a little bit more.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm having the completely opposite experience. During the final playtest, it was smooth as butter. I was praising Paragon The Overprime. I'm like, yo, everybody's got to try this shit. This shit is amazing. Like, this is honestly what I wanted this game to be. It's awesome. Ever since early access came out, it's the jumping around, the server issues. I crashed like every 2 to 3 games. That didn't happen at all during a full like week and a half or 2 weeks that we did the final test, however long it was. Like I'm to the point that my first match on day 2 was so fucking bad, I had to post that shit on YouTube. It was honestly fucking unreal, bro. I was livid.
He had me when he held the mouse up and he sold the left click.
Bro, it had me triggered. I'm listening like, yo, my character's just standing still. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then next thing you know, bam, I'm all the way on the other buff where I was standing 30 seconds ago. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then the game crashed in the middle. Yeah. Like, I'm like, yo, like, I just don't understand why, because nothing's changed as far as my gear goes, right? Nothing's changed as far as updates and everything besides just making sure it's updated, right? And I've seen comments in the videos that I posted that other people are getting that behavior too. And even though I feel like it's a minority issue, like I'm part of a very small group that it's happening to, but it still is happening, and I don't understand why it didn't happen before. Like for me, well, here's the thing. Almost every game I might have a little stutter issue or something. It's like, you know what? I can play around it. I know it's not perfect, right? It's early access. Like, that shit was annoying. I just dashed forward to Xena. It teleported me back a little bit. You know what? Fuck it. Whatever. I'll work on it. But whenever it's like that drastic where I couldn't even play, like, bro, the game shut itself down and booted back up. So it's a brand new instance. No other fucking application or no other game or anything running on the computer. And it literally is just fucking up that way. It was absolutely mind-blowing. It's gotten a little bit better since, but it's still not flawless. And I don't know why, because in early access, in early access, not early access, the final playtest was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
that shit was smooth as butter for me. And I don't know what's happening there. I really don't.
I'm honestly sorry you're going through that, because you could watch any of my streams recently on Overprime, and I will never have the holding the mouse up issue, or like just I haven't disconnected from the server yet, thankfully. But yeah, it just sucks. It's so inconsistent that it's like, even like you, as knowledgeable as you were, you can't even seem to understand what the problem may be.
Bro, well, and I'll tell you what.
I think part of that problem might have been is because of all right. So you have the final test, and they haven't came out with numbers with it yet, right? But how many people are playing in the final test, right? Compared to how many people are playing this early access game, and I think the servers are just a little more, having a little more on them than what we're used to, right? So you were just experiencing a bad situation with that, and Florida man just couldn't handle it. So
clearly, bro, some gator must have chopped up a line or some shit, bro. I don't know what the fuck happened, bro.
My days of gaming about to be over.
And to emphasize the more about how rough that was for Windu, right? Windu's somebody who can definitely take the adversity and just roll with it no matter what happens. And Windu, when you play with Windu while he's streaming, he might deafen himself to talk to chat, right? But he comes back pretty much right after. Windu told us, "Hey guys, I'm just gonna deafen because I don't want to have you guys raging, because the rest of us were streaming, and I don't want to have you guys hear me rage while you're streaming."
I straight warned him. I'm muting for your sake and for mine right now, because I'm about to fucking blow, bro. And then the moment I deafen, the first thing I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Bro, I would have made a reaction video of that. It was just me gaming. It just
I'm pretty sure people can make a reaction, bro. I just don't fully understand that portion, right? But again,
right.
I'm almost glad that it happened to someone like me, because I'm gonna give it a fair shot and keep playing the whole week regardless, right? How many people have turned off the game because that shit happened to them?
Oh, and vice versa, though. I also am glad it happened to you, because you're going to make a video on it, and then it's going to get noticed. It's going to get noticed, and Paragon The Overprime devs are going to be like, okay, wait, we're getting this bad reputation for this, or bad rep, whatever it might be. Maybe that's just a strong term, whatever. But my point is, they're going to see it, and whatever needs to happen, they're going to get focused, right? It's going to happen, and when that happens to other content creators, they're like, all right, I'm done. I'm not playing this, or whatever. They might just go leave a bad review, and then not a non-descriptive bad review. Hey, game doesn't work. And leave and run away, right? You made a video on it showing the issues, and then they're able to, because that's the thing is, Menace being partnered with Paragon Overprime, us being partnered with Predecessor, we have the direct line to grab those clips and hand it to the devs and be like, here you go, these are the issues I'm seeing. And that with a clip, the devs are able to understand more with a clip than they are with you just trying to somewhat half-assed explain what happened.
Right. Yeah, I would, if you haven't did it, I would have posted like feedback or something. Just let it sit there. Let them watch it.
Yeah, I haven't.
It was insane.
I haven't, but here's the thing. People that have watched it, or people that were there live, or people that have seen all of my other videos, right? They understand. They're like, bro, I don't know what the fuck is happening, but I'm sorry this is happening to you. Right? The Paragon The Overprime fanboys that are just going to defend this game die hard, just immediately go with get better internet, get a better computer. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna say that's a you issue. I'm running fine. And that's the problem because
like on Twitter.
yeah, like people are immediately gonna be like, oh, that's a you problem. I watched 2 streamers and they're good, so must be something on your end.
Little, you had those comments.
Yeah.
You had those comments. I literally saw those comments personally myself. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, and that's Menace. That's I give you props. I'm glad that you're one of the partners, and I know some other partners too, and I know that they're like this as well. You're not just going to be like, oh man, this game is just straight up amazing. You're going to give them the honest truth, and you're going to tell them, hey, this is what we need to work on. You know, and that's what these games need at this point. They're in early access. These aren't full release games. These aren't games that are just perfect games that we're all going to play them, right? I don't care if you're a Pred fanboy. I don't care if you're a Paragon The Overprime fanboy. You're wrong by saying these games are perfect. Yep. They're not, and we need to give them the best feedback we can to make these games succeed. Yeah, and if you are a Paragon fanboy and if you are a Pred fanboy, you need to be given the best feedback for the opposing team, the opposing game to succeed, because iron sharpens iron. The better the one does, the better the other will do.
Absolutely.
And these games are so completely different. They both can coexist so easily. We just need to give them the feedback they need.
Yeah, so let's do this. Let's move on to a different subject here real quick. Now, there was actually, before changes were made, there was a lot of controversy of people just assuming that they were going to be able to get all the same skins they had in the final test. They were going to be able to keep them. There was a big misconception as far as people, for some reason, not understanding that they had to pay for skins even, right? You'd be surprised the amount of people that I've heard that have been bummed out just because they, regardless of the price, 5, 10, 20, whatever the fuck, right? The fact that they, for some reason, are like, oh man, I got to pay $20 for a skin. I was like, what the fuck did you think you were gonna do for the skin?
Right.
And I actually heard a comment. He's like, well, during the final test, they just rewarded us with playing and we were able to buy the skins. What do you guys think about that? Like, is that just the community's poor expectations, or is that just not being too clear? Because I thought it was obvious, personally.
Well, for us, all right. All right, so let me give you a definition of the word ignorant first, right? Ignorance is the term, is the form of not knowing, right? So not knowing, right? And so when I call people ignorant, I'm not being a dick just saying you're dumb or stupid, right? Because I'm not saying that. But I think it's we're the non-ignorant parties here, right? We know what these developers are going to do when it comes to stuff like this, right? They also need to make money. So we know they need to make money, right? You have the ignorant ones that come in, they play the game, they see that, you know, it wasn't just CBT 1. They gave you all enough in-game currency to buy all the skins.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at it. CBT 1, you bought all the skins and you could have sit there and just played with them, right? They're not gonna do that. You're not gonna get early access and just have enough gold sitting in your box that it's like, all right, I get all the skins now, I'm good to go, right? But it is what we just talked about on our Predecessor episode is the expectations that the developers brought upon themselves, right? They give you that expectation that when you play it, because in CBT, in the final test, you played a game, when you come back from playing that game, you almost had enough currency to buy a skin just by playing one match, right? So when we play one match now in the early access. And when early access first dropped, you played one match, you come back, you get nothing when it comes to in-game currency.
Right.
When we first opened up early access, that was the way it was. And it's like, now, wait a minute, how are we not getting anything?
I think
Menace even referenced that's a bug right now.
I kept my avatar.
They came out with the announcement saying, hey, we realized that we weren't doing this, so we're going to change it so we can do this. So that they admitted that it wasn't a bug, that was their plan. Now that's an issue in my opinion. But it's the ignorant people who think that just because that's the way it was in CBT2 that we were giving gold, that's the way it's going to be. You can't just, that's not the way it's going to go. These companies have to make money, right? Now, I do have an issue, and I get people say, well, they got to have content, coming out. All right. You already shown us this content, right? So you showing me this content again isn't going to make me, oh my gosh, this is amazing, right? You already showed me Gorilla Rampage.
Right.
So you not having it in the game right now and bringing it out 2 months later is not going to impress me. I've already seen it.
I definitely with time I started thinking to myself that was during closed tests, final tests, whatever the case, there was a skin in there and you were able to get it. I definitely think that was a means to keep you hooked and look forward to early access. Not necessarily as a means to, hey, it will be in the game later on down the line. At least that's what I think their intention was. But I can agree. If you look at the game through a Paragon scope, you're going to think that everything should be free and whatnot. But I know this practice is not new. This practice has been done multiple times. Like and again, I'm just using this game as a reference, not name trashing the game, but Smite has the exact same system. You can buy skins with in-game currency, and they have skins you pay for dollar. They have skins on there. The number one most expensive skin on Smite is $96.
Damn.
Well, hold on. But you're also, and that's a good transition here, because you're also referring to the fact that paid skins in Smite are loot boxes, a specific tier.
Not all of them. Some of them.
Well, not all of them, but the majority of them come out on loot boxes first, and then after the fact you can buy them. But the thing is, we all expected loot boxes out of them, and it's a good transition, right? We saw loot boxes before. The previous test that we done did loot boxes, and then when I didn't see loot boxes in the final test, I just figured they were waiting, right? Like I just thought, hey, they're gonna have an option that you can spend your currency or whatever, but they're gonna have loot boxes also, right? Seeing that they went away from loot boxes as a whole, like I want to give them props, because the community was very much against that, right? So that shows that they're listening to the community,
right?
But at the same time, I almost feel like they went like, hey, this is how much we could have made on loot boxes off of a skin. This is how much we should charge for the skin, right? Like they might have done just a similar conversion of the sorts, maybe make a couple adjustments. And there were a lot of people that were upset at the prices of the skins and then how little progression you actually got. Now, kudos to them, they did adjust that. But before we get into how they adjusted it, do you guys think that it was wise of them to stray away from those loot boxes and go into this grind to pay method instead?
Well, my biggest thing, and what I was getting at though, is the expectation that they gave you of thinking that these skins were going to be in the game when you played the closed beta 2 and the final test, and those skins they don't exist right now in the game, is what I'm saying. That's an expectation. Like again, like we complained on the fault partner panel, and before we complained about when SMS would give you a patch note or whatever, and they would tease something, and then 3 months later they would use that same picture to tease you again, and you still don't have it, right? So you teasing me in CBT2 that I can have this Gorilla Rampage skin, and now it's early access. I can't wait to actually play early access Gorilla Rampage, and it doesn't exist, and I have to wait for it even longer. That right there, I don't like that, right? Because now you're going to use it to hype up another patch, and I'm like, no, this is wrong in my opinion. I don't like that. When it comes to what you're talking about, though, I'm not one to care about prices of skins or anything like that. I'm very frugal when it comes to it. I spend more money on games for my son to buy skins than I've ever paid for myself in any game that I've ever played to buy any skins. I buy the game and I play the game and I get whatever. If I do, like when I play Paladins, I play the free version of the battle pass, right? And I get whatever I get on the free version of the battle pass. That's what I get. That's just the way I am. Because most battle passes, I know I'm not going to reach level 100, so I don't do it. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to pay the money because it's just going to save it. I would just prefer, this is me, and I know a lot of me and Huddy disagreed with this. I would prefer for me to have it just give me the in-game, not the in-game, give me the out-of-pocket money, whatever, the $30, whatever that might be for this OP original skin. Mm-hmm. Whatever that might be, let's say it's just $30 for the time being, right? That's $30 out of pocket. In game, if you want to grind for it, you want to just rep our game and keep playing our game nonstop, you have to grind for this exponential number, right? So if I want Gorilla Rampage, right, it's their own IP, it's going to be $30 and you can only pay money for it. I would rather you give me an option to actually grind your game and get it by grinding your game. There's people out there who can't afford skins, and I think you should still give them the ability to grind for it in some sort of way. The fact that they're repping your game should be enough for these bigger companies. They're going to make money off of the Windows that, like, they saw a new skin come out, a skin line. Oh, I got to get it, even though I don't play the game. Windu would tell you he'll go get a new Smite skin because they brought a new line out. Like, I'm the same way. So Menace is the same way. I'm not like that, right? So they're gonna make $60 and let me grind the game, and because as a streamer, I'm gonna grind the game. I'm gonna advertise their game as a streamer. My community is gonna see me play the game. My community is gonna see me upload content to YouTube. So they're still getting free advertisement out of me. Allow me to grind for that skin so I can play with that skin and advertise that skin as well.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think all games should have that same situation.
I see them, and I'm calling it a hunch because I'm starting to think I'm a genie, because every time every time I leave and I can't game, something happens every single time. So I'm
like some event, some test or something.
Every single time it happens. But I'm calling it right now that they're going to use those other skins instead of having one form of way to monetize the game, like just buying it flat out with money. I can see them doing like Battle Pass or something similar, or something that's replicated in a different game in order to maximize revenue potential for their cosmetics and stuff. Because I was definitely one of them too. I think that was the first skin I called out, was that crazy Sevarog. I forgot what it was called, or the Gorilla God Rampage. I had called it out, but honestly, it is what it is. I'm not playing the game for the skins at this point. I'm just playing the game because I have fun playing it.
Right. Well, let's while we're on this point of monetization, heroes.
Yep.
Hero, so you start the game, you get one hero unlocked automatically, right, when you literally load up, right? And this is so every day you load up, for the first 5 days you load into the game, you're going to unlock a hero for free. So you'll have 5 in the first 5 days. You'll have 5 heroes that are yours, so you'll own them. Okay. Yeah. But after that, they have hero rotation. So I think they have 12 heroes on rotation. Am I wrong? Correct me.
10 heroes on rotation.
10.
Is that what start? So did they change it? I think they changed it to 12 eventually.
No. So they changed. So here's what they did. It's 10 heroes on rotation. The play ranked, you needed 14 heroes owned, but they switched that to 12.
Changed that number. All right. So the same. Okay. So you have 10
so it's still 10 on rotation.
All right. But any of those heroes that you don't have, and by the time the rotation ends, you would have to purchase that hero. All right, to buy a hero, this is
wait until they're on rotation again.
We're talking early access when it first released. We'll talk about the changes when we get to that point. So when they first released, to buy a hero, you had to pay $10, or you'd have to grind. At the first time, the only way you could grind for that hero is dailies and weeklies. Weekly, you get 500 in-game currency.
It would take you a little over a week.
100 each.
You
get
per
3
hero.
dailies. So that's 300 in-game currency plus 500. So that's 800 in-game currency that you would get.
Yep.
And then you'd have to keep doing that to unlock a hero. And to unlock a hero is
the cheapest is 2,000.
2,000 of an in-game currency. Their own IP hero is 6,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong with that?
6 or 3? It's definitely more expensive than the usual.
It's more expensive. It's
I don't know. So some heroes are 2, some heroes are 3, and then their brand new ones are 6. Because even after the change, the amount that it costs to get a hero for free hasn't changed, but the amount that you have to pay dollars is what changed on the heroes.
So I feel bad for people like Menace, right? I'm not a ranked guy. I don't play ranked. I play ranked when Menace is like, hey, we're gonna grind out paladins. We're gonna play some ranked. I'll play ranked with other people. I'm all about it, right? But I'm not to the point where I'm like, I want to play ranked. I'll sit and play casual queues all day. I don't care. I mean, I played Fault for however long, right? The ranked mode doesn't bother me, but I will play it when my friends want to play it. Menace, you grinded to get to level 10.
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You grinded to get to level 10. You got level 10. As a partner, you already have all the heroes, right?
Yeah.
Understandably so. You queued up, and you said the queues were 30 plus minutes.
As soon as I hit level 10, I was like, you know what, let me try it, see what it was. It took about 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And
that's a selling point for this game right now. The selling point for this game is, hey, we have ranked.
Having ranked.
Yeah. Now, granted, I did hear they did get better. They're pushing 10 to 15 minutes now, but still reasonably long compared to the average 30-second queue.
Now, my issue, here's my thing, is that the system they implemented is good for a game that has been out for a while.
Right.
Okay. This game has not been out for a while. So that system that you're praising, you need to, this is the time that you benefit and you praise the people playing your game. Hey, thanks for playing our game. Here's this. And you give them something, or you cut the grinding time in half to allow them to get what they need, whatever. I don't care if you give us another 5 heroes. All right, now we just got to grind for 2, right? Okay. So now all I got to do is grind for 2 heroes. I can do that, right? Grind for my 2, I can play ranked. That, just give us something. And maybe that's too much. I don't know. I'm just spitballing numbers right now. And I think right now it's just too much. 15-minute queues, that's long. That's a longer queue than I've ever waited in a Fault queue, and Fault was dying.
Yeah.
I've never waited that long in a queue before.
I can't see the player count for ranked being more than like a couple hundred, if that.
Well, here's the thing. I just want to say, it's very interesting that they decided to go with the original the first 5 heroes you get for free logging in, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, you see games give you 10 heroes, and then they might have 1 or 2 on rotation. And I know I talked about this a little bit to each of you guys, I believe. But the fact that you only start with such a small amount and rotation is 10 heroes, that's a big fucking rotation. Now, it's good for them to try heroes and want to buy and etc., right? But I don't like it I don't like it just because it's not normal, right? Not because I necessarily have a problem with the system and its own. If it works for them, it works for them. But having 10 free rotation and you only own 1 the first day makes you feel like it's gonna take forever. And even when you get the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the ones that you get for free just by logging in, even when you get those, given that I've been playing it for a week straight, you're like, okay, so I've made some progress, and you feel a little better. But once it comes down to unlocking number 6, I'm like, bro, you're telling me ever since they made the change, I can buy a hero now. Cool. Can I buy a second one? No. So at this rate, maybe sometime, in January, if I really grind, I'll have the 12 heroes. Because obviously we're 2-3 weeks away from this month ending. So maybe sometime in January, I'll be able to hit ranked, or somebody that's even more casual than me, maybe by February or March, probably February on the slow side. So when you think about it in long-term format, it really isn't that bad to wait a month or 2 to unlock ranked, right? Because then you're going to have rank forever after that. But when you're trying to make an initial first impression, and when you tease so many players with ranked a week ago or a week and a half ago, right? People came in expecting, hey, I just got to do a quick little grind, get to level 10, bet, and I got ranked. But I know people that are literally hardcore rank people. They're level 10. They're not going to buy any fucking heroes. They're going to earn them the slow way. So even hardcore rank people that might be top 100 in final test are sitting there having a casual queue for the next month because they refuse to buy a hero with actual real money. They're like, I'm gonna grind it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use League as only a reference, not name trashing or anything. But again, iron sharpens iron in League, where they have their weekly rotation with X amount of heroes, and you play Summoner's Rift, you would know. You don't have any heroes to start with. It makes you do a couple tutorials, and every tutorial you will unlock one hero. And I'm pretty sure in today's time, when you complete all of them, it allows you to unlock another hero. And I think that's an avenue that Bearded mentioned. Was it last night that you said that they should add? Because they have the tutorials. They have what, 3 so far out of 4 or 5.
You can get currency out of those, and by the time you finish all the 8 tutorials, you'll be able to actually get a hero, like a 2000.
Yeah. And in League, they have all, different prices and whatnot. But regardless, I think the game of Overprime, I think they need to add a different avenue besides the start. I don't know what's going to come after the starter pass, but I think there has to be a different avenue implemented. And I've said multiple times, I'm pretty sure the staff is taking a break, whether Pred or Overprime, they've been working all this time to get the game out. So they deserve some time off. But the moment I see activity being a little bit more responsive in what we're used to before EA, at least on the OP side, I'm definitely going to be the one asking the parent questions. Like, it's honestly insane. Like Reaper, who I was just talking to right when you guys were doing the Predecast, with the amount of, he plays every day. Every single morning he's streaming. With the amount of grinding he's done, on top of winning one of the prizes for the tournament, he's going to still be short a couple characters to even play ranked. Right. Because he's getting a set amount of Renard for the tournament. I can't remember how much it is. On top of the gift, the little gift they gave us for, their apology gift in the mailbox system that they gave us in game. So yeah, it definitely has to be something, because there are a lot of people out there who want to play this game on a more competitive sense and try to filter out the new players and whatnot. But
what did the top 100 get as far as in game? Remember how there was a prize?
Yeah.
What did they get?
Top 3 got the hero package. Full hero pack, the same thing the partners got. But here's the thing: some of the top 3, because I've seen the ranked games, they bought the heroes already instead of waiting for the reward to come out. So that's a big failure on them, though, because their own partners didn't have that hero pack when the game came into early access. That's some shit that people should have had already DM'd to them and already installed the night before EA came out, when they were pre-downloaded. I was blowing up the partner chat over and over. At Bumblebee, where's the hero patch? Is the hero patch coming out? Is it going to come out during the downtime? Is it this? Is it that? And luckily, we did get it on the downtime. Some people got it a little after, but I think from what I've seen, there's still some partners who don't even have it yet at all, which, is unfortunate for them. So there's inconsistency on that part too. But,
that just shows like a lack of organization is what it shows.
Regardless, something has to change about it, because it's going to be, I don't want to say a backbreaker for people, but it's gonna push people away, to not putting as much time, or whatever the case may be.
So right. Fault showed us it was just a click away, bro. Right. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're great. I 100%. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, Fault showed us it was a simple. They would click on your account, click a button, bam, all the heroes are unlocked. Like, it's like, oh, you don't have it yet? Give me 30 seconds. Bam, restart your game. Yeah. You're good.
I wait, hold on, Beard, before you go. I think that little 2-week window from final test to EA, I think they pretty much put themselves in a chokehold with that, because I agree, that's something that should have been pre-worked out, because that is something that we've known about for a minute now. But I think them bottlenecking their time to get the game out, I think that's what ended up shooting themselves in their own foot. And that's ultimately why we didn't have it on release, because it did kind of suck.
So I completely understand that these games have to make money. Mm-hmm. It has to happen, right? That's how they're going to stay afloat. They have to make money. So them going free to play early access compared to being a paid early access like Predecessor, right? So that's why you see their monetization, their price a little
puts a strain on the money side, yeah.
But
for sure,
what if instead of holding back those skins that everybody loved to have in final test and the closed beta test, right? Instead of holding those back, because we know, all right, look, let's rewind here, right? Let's go back to closed beta test 1, right? What map did we play on, right? We played on
the legacy mix.
Full legacy.
Right. And then we played closed beta test 2. I believe that was still legacy mix, right? And then between closed beta test 2 and final test, which was like 8 months, they made a whole new map. All right.
Mhm.
It was a combination of monolith and legacy, right? What they called it, like
Agolith.
Agolith,
Yeah,
right?
which I gotta say, I personally do like this map.
Yeah, no, the
I
map's
don't have a
great.
problem with it.
All right. So if this team can just go through and make the great skins they're making, also while making a great new map, we know this team can make shit pretty quickly.
They give me quality.
Right? And so you can make more skins. So here's my thing. Instead of not having all the players unlocked, right? You pay $10 right now for Predecessor. You have every hero that's in the game right now unlocked, right? And then you also get the next 5 that are going to be released, guaranteed unlocked. That's what you get for $10 on Predecessor, right? For $10 in early access first release for Paragon, $10 gets you 1 hero. 25 heroes, 1 hero. That's 10.
Which I did
right?
see the CEO of Predecessor actually post that exact same segment. $10 in Predecessor gets you 25 heroes. Play now, it's on Steam. And again, he didn't call out Overprime or anything, but in saying that, he is effectively affecting the Paragon the Overprime pool by all means. Very smart of them to do so. But go ahead.
No, you keep going. I'm gonna finish mine.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, Paragon the Overprime, it's almost weird the changes that they decided to implement. Not only between the last test and final test. I mean, by all means, they had some time, they got feedback and etc. I even see some changes that they decided to implement from final test till now. Like even something as simple as the lighting in the game, how it changed.
Right.
Like I just can't help but sit here and wonder why. Like, who had that dark as fuck monitor and said, no, bro, it's too dark in here. You got to brighten it up. You know?
Well, they didn't want it to come to the dark side. Anyways.
Get me out.
So, but what I was saying was, so let's say this one game is giving you, for $10 pay to access, you get all the hero, 25 heroes. All right. We'll give you 25 heroes for $10. This game, they have 27 heroes, right?
Yeah.
In the game. So 27 heroes. What if you just give us half of those just give us half of those. Give us, but bring in all the skins that you already had.
I mean, I'm okay with them wanting to charge.
Are you not going to make the money off of that money that you lost on giving us half of those heroes? Are you not going to make the money off the skins that you've already have created that you just took out of the game?
See, I would prefer Smite monetization. Like, it's okay if they want to monetize hero. League does it, Smite does it, etc. Right? I don't even
still monetize the heroes. I'm saying give us on the first introduction to early
Hold on,
access.
let me finish. I'm gonna say Smite has a hero pack that you pay $30, not 10, not 20. It's $30 and you get all the heroes off the bat, even if it's 100 heroes, etc. They had that same pack when they only had 40 heroes, and they still got that same pack right now. You pay $30, you get all of them, right? That has paid for itself tenfold. There's people that'll grind, there's people that'll pay. I never got it. I grinded it out. Every single hero that I have in Smite, I earned. My little brother, day one, I'm buying the pack. I ain't no fucking time for grinding. If I want to try a hero, I got it on the spot. He's worse than me, by the way. But
I definitely bought the hero pack too, and I think if the option was up to me, take partner away, take all that away, and I was just playing the game, I would buy the hero pack. Well, even if Pred did the same mechanic that OP did, and they went free to play, but you had to pay hero pack, I would pay for hero pack.
And that's fine. I think that's something we could definitely have outside of early access. Right. I don't think Smite did Smite have that from day one early access. I don't.
That's a long time ago. I can't tell you.
Right. I don't know. I wasn't there. So I just literally played Conquest for the first time like 3 weeks ago. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Back in like 2015, 2016, back when Paragon just came out, they already had a hero pack. Like I said, they had only like 30, 40 heroes back then, and the hero pack was there.
So. I don't know. It's something that they could definitely. You have a great point with that. I'm just saying if they wanted to continue to charge $10 a hero, which is now $7, they could do that. But you're not. The biggest issue right now is you are promoting ranked, and it's not available. right? Or if it
Or not easily available. Yeah.
not easily available, right? And I think if you were to give us half of the hero that you have, half the heroes you have with 27, well, let's say 26 divided by 2, 13 heroes. Give us 13 heroes. We already have enough now. All we got to do is grind for level 10. Which you play the game, you grind for level 10. That's enough for you to understand the basics of the game to go in and play ranked.
Even if they flip the script, even if they gave you 10 heroes unlocked off for it, and then you had your rotations, but you need to get to 15 heroes, even just grinding those extra 5 would feel a lot better. Yes. Even though you still got to grind, you still got to put in the work, you still got to get the level anyway. Right. But as you go through and, you know, the rotations and everything, you're going to try different heroes, you're going to unlock, because here's the thing, you might unlock 5 heroes and make it exactly to 15 in the scenario and unlock rank, but 3 of those heroes you unlock, you don't fucking like. You think they're trash. Right. I need a better mid laner before I go into ranked. So you might wait and get the next one. You get me? That doesn't mean people are going to immediately jump in. But
especially when ranked, you have there's bans in ranked, right? Don't you have ban system? Mm-hmm. So you need a better
4 people get banned.
You need 2 better mid laners because the one you want might get picked or might get banned. So
bro, imagine owning 12 heroes and there's 4 bans per game.
I think so. Don't quote me, but I think they changed it to 1 per side now. I can't. It's something on the tip of my
tongue. I mean,
that changed it, which helps a lot. Yeah, which helps a lot because people were banning all carries on rank during the final test. But yeah, I can't remember. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, at 1 per, it'll be nicer. Again, I haven't gotten into rank to test it, and I might have missed it in the patch notes that they released. But I don't know. I'm okay with unlocking it with having that paywall, right? But I think Overwatch 2 did it in a great example, right? They basically made it so if you had enough experience in the game based off of past account progression, for example, the final test, they would literally be like, okay, instead of having to play this many matches, you already get ranked because you played rank before and did well, or because beforehand you got it at least to a certain level, so you've shown that you got experience. I think a lot of people would be complaining less if that progression from that 1.5 to 2 weeks final test, if that progression carried over. Because I can tell you, I'd probably be like, what, like level 8? And like, I didn't really, like, I played it all the time. I don't know how far I got. I might have had the 10, but then I just got to grind the heroes. It would have felt better for the hardcore supporters to only have to grind a certain aspect, as opposed to even your most hardcore loyal supporters say start at the fucking bottom. You know?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something that I would, at least on my end, and whatever capability I may have, I am not one afraid to say the hard questions. I think the military has taught me how to do that really well. So I will literally point out the obvious in most case scenarios. There's not one lick of pride in this partnership thing that I picked up that I'm very fortunate it happened. But if something's wrong, I'm gonna call it out and, you know, hopefully hope for the best at that point. Pappy, yeah. Yes, I still serve Pappy.
He still did. He is in Navy, actually. Freaking both of these guys are Navy. I'm over here like, God damn, bro. I'm wearing blue. You're welcome.
I'm in ROTC.
Nah. I don't ever mention that unless it actually gets brought up, bro. Yeah. But nah, man. I'm really torn, personally, right? Because again, the final test was amazing. It was flawless. I gave it so much high praise. I said, yo, everybody's got to try this shit. This shit is fire. This is what Paragon should have been. I used those words during the final test. That's how good of an experience I had. And now I've had such a bad experience this first week. I'm like, bro, play it, try it for yourself. I hope your experience isn't like mine, because my week has been pretty fucking bad. And that shit sucks, especially when I'm making videos and I'm like, yo, like, I almost feel like I have an obligation to show everybody. It's like, hey, fair warning, this can happen. I'm still trying to make videos and hey, you can still have fun with it and everything, but fair warning, it's still a work in progress. Yeah. And I had somebody comment in one of my videos that it was actually perfect. He said that the expectation versus the reality of early access from a Predecessor and Paragon the Overprime. It was a disappointment, and they expected this game, Paragon the Overprime and Predecessor both, to be way more finished, way more refined due to the hype around it, due to all the positive reviews, due to the fact that creators tried it and it was a blast. You get what I'm saying? Due to the fact that in those final tests, those 2 weeks, it performed flawless. You only heard good shit throughout. It doesn't matter who you were. Yeah, you heard people call it brawly and everything, but you heard great feedback on it. And now going into the early access, it's like it's still there.
A lot of mix. You know, I've recently joined the Facebook group, or not Facebook. This particular was a Reddit one. There's a Paragon Reddit group, not Paragon The Overprime or Predecessor, like OG Paragon. That's still pretty active, and I'm seeing so many split comments, I want to say, on stuff that people are having with both games. And it honestly, it sucks seeing the community divided at this point. I used to think that having multiple different games using the same assets would be great, when really, in my opinion, I think it's hurting the Paragon in me a little bit, because I mean, you know as much as me, as far as the spectrum goes, we got like Pred fanboys on the far left, OP fanboys on the far right. We got the people who will play both, but they'd rather play one more than the other. I think that's where I'm at. And then you got people who are completely unbiased in the middle. And like that comment that you had made, and I see it every single day, and it honestly just sucks, because right now, and if anybody doesn't know, like I play Overprime just because I have more fun than Pred. It's not because Pred's a bad game or anything like that, but I can have more fun playing by myself in OP than I can in Pred. I will play Pred any day, bro. I was playing it last night with Bearded off stream. Mm-hmm. Last night he came in, we were chatting, and I was like, "Hey, I'm pretty Bearded. I think I asked you, do you want to play Pred?" I already had
PTO loaded up. I literally had PTO loaded up because I thought that's what you were gaming on already. So I'm like, all right. He's like, let's play Pred. I'm like, okay, I'm all about it. Let's go. So I closed out. Let's play Pred. Yeah. So I'm definitely not like favoring one more than the other. It's just one I just have just a slight more fun in playing, and I want to see both of these games go. I want. Let's have these conversations a year from now, 2 years from now, if we make it that far, 5 years from now, and then let's see how the progress gets, not on a competitive sense, but on an individual sense. Because games like Smite, I played Smite in 2013 is when I first touched it. Till now, it's some people's gonna say it's the same game, but there's so many changes that got added to it. Or like League of Legends. League of Legends is another one. I have to Google videos of the first iteration of League of Legends because I can't go that far back. I was, wee high when that game first came out. You're still wee high.
Yo, bro, that game came out like 2012. Relax, bro.
I'm the tallest one out of all three of us.
Bro, I'm telling you, that 5'2" with a 6-foot personality, bro. Yeah.
I'm telling you, my first vlog in Florida and driving to Wendy's house.
You haven't even seen me. How can you say you're taller than me?
I'm just assuming. Because
bro, this man swears he's 6 foot tall, bro.
He was taller than me. And
this man swears.
Yeah, I'm looking down at
him. He fucking swears, bro. I can't.
When we went out to my son's birthday dinner, they carded him. They didn't card me. Let's just say that.
That's because one of us doesn't look rough as shit. Anyway, but so let me ask you guys. As far as, okay, hold on. Let me think about how to word this. I'm sorry. So as far as the progression, and we haven't officially talked about this, so I think it's very important that we mention it. And I'm sorry that we took this long to bring it up. So Paragon The Overprime, after the community feedback, kudos to them. They did adjust the in-game currency gain, and they also adjusted the real-life money prices for a lot of their items, right? So they did lower all real-life money prices by 30%. So they essentially made them almost an exact third cheaper, right? And then on top of that, they went ahead and instead of just only getting in-game currency from challenges, you are now also getting it from winning matches, losing matches, etc. Which, kudos to them. Again, I'll say it a million times. Kudos to them for listening to the community. Their Discord was popping the fuck off. People didn't like that shit at all. So I'm glad they reacted, right? But I
gotta step in. I was stepping. You're saying kudos to them, and I.
Hold on.
For a slight moment, kudos to them. For a slight,
yeah, but they still try to get away with it by all means, and that's what I was getting to. Like, yes, they adjusted.
Sleazy's car salesman.
Yeah, yes, they adjusted, but they definitely did try to push the limit. And it's like, yo, I think those prices are fine. We're good. And then when people complain, they lower them, right? As opposed to coming out too low and be like, shit, now we can't raise them.
Yeah.
I feel like it was set up. It was set up. Hey, we're going to come out high on purpose and then we're going to bring it down because even then, I think these prices are still a little bit high. All right. Especially for and I'm not this guy. I'm not the guy. I know it takes time and money to make these free assets actually work, right? But they're still free assets.
Wait, hold on. Wait, can I ask a question just to clarify? When you say prices, are you talking about in-game and paid or just paid?
Paid.
Okay.
Like, for me to put money into the game, your free game, for me to put money into it, I still think these numbers, like that 30% that you brought it down, again, I think it was all premeditated. That's literally where I feel. You look at this, you see how it goes, how it went down. This literally feels sleazy car salesman. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna put this used car out here. I'm gonna put this huge price tag on it. And when you come in and you tell me you only got so much, I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit. And man, I
could drop it $500. That's all I can. That's all my manager will let me do.
Hey, you know what? I see that you're actually.
That's an interesting analogy.
You got dropped off by a taxi. You really need a car. I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna drop the price down. That's how I feel about this situation.
Let me ask you this: do you think that those numbers? Do you think that comes from a team solely, the developer side, or above them from who's
that? I don't
money?
know. That I don't know. I could definitely see it coming from Netmarble. I can 100% see it coming from Netmarble, right? That I don't know how much that separation happens since they converged, right?
Right.
I don't know how that works. I can't comment on it. I would love to say it's Netmarble pulling the strings on that and not Swole Leave.
Well, I think realistically, but I think realistically, the matter of fact is they have to present a proposition, right? They got to be like, hey, this is what we're thinking for the prices. And then Netmarble says yes or no, right? So at the end of the day, I still would say they're both partially to blame because even if it was Soleil's idea, Netmarble approved it. And even if it was Netmarble's idea, Soleil went with it when they could have fought even more and be like, hey, I really think that our game is going to be successful. Look at the numbers that we got. If we lower this from $30 to $20, I think we're going to sell more. Like, you can sell a point. Like, they could easily have fought a little bit more. And who knows, maybe they did, giving benefit of the doubt on that side. But it really is one of those things that at the end of the day, given the fact that there's a publisher and a studio involved, that really was an in tandem decision that they had to come to. Because again, even if it was a team choice, Netmarble's got to be like, hey, we got to make sure we monetize properly. We can't be pushing people away. We're trying to do the marketing for you, etc. There's a lot that goes in there. But then again, the publishers always are the ones that are pushing deadlines. We got to have this by this. We got to have this by, hey, come on. We're fucking paying you guys money. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So publishers do have a very bad reputation also. But
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but something I had a conversation with somebody is maybe the numbers were looked at from a mobile gaming perspective because prices on mobile games are ridiculous, and maybe they thought that that model could fly in a PC gaming market. But regardless, the prices were stupid high. I was like, God damn. I try not to say it because I didn't want that impression to come up. But I was like, yeah, these prices are a little steep, but we'll make it work, whatever the case may be. But
yeah, no, I mean, I just think that, like I said, we're talking about Epic assets, like that are free Epic assets now, and here we are. And I do like that the Epic skins are cheaper than their own IPs. I'm okay with that. That's fine. I understand that, but I just still feel like our prices are still a little high. Right. And I'm not I'm not one to sit here and play other MOBAs and know what other prices and to know if this is normal across the board if League of Legends charging this price or not. We're not, in my opinion, even if that is what League of Legends is charging now for skins, we're not at League of Legends level.
Yeah, absolutely. League of Legends has that substance.
They have clout
to justify to. Yeah,
they have the clout to sit there and say, "Hey, we're going to charge this price." We're not at that level yet.
Well, let me be devil's advocate here, right? On the side of Overprime. So here's the thing, right? Like we are all, and I say all because even fanboys complained about the prices, right? So we're all mainly complaining because we are early and they started us at the bottom. They didn't give us any credit. They didn't say, hey guys, thank you for participating in the early access. Here's 10,000 renown. You might be able to get a couple of extra heroes, but not enough for rank. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of us are complaining because we started at the bottom and it didn't feel good what we were rewarded for. You get what I'm saying? So from there, the argument that I would pose is if we look at 3 months from now, 4 months from now, it's literally going to come down to the fact that everybody should have plenty of shit. Once you unlock all the heroes, and they're going to keep coming out with heroes and such, but you should get to the point, especially if you're an avid gamer, that you're going to be able to just buy the next new hero when it comes out. You already got the money, you already got the in-game currency saved up for the new hero. So is this really just a right now problem, or is it actually a problem that's going to affect it through the course of the life cycle? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, time will definitely tell. I'm hoping it's just a right now problem. I hope they recognize, okay, yeah, we messed up. Let's move forward. Regardless, like a change is going to happen. That's just historically speaking. If nothing happens at all, then the lifespan of this game isn't going to last. So a change will happen. You just got to hope for the best, and just move forward from it. It's definitely a learning experience. But you wanna move on to the next topic? I don't want to hold you guys up too long.
Yeah, no, you're chilling, bro. Honestly, so let me ask you guys. Do you guys think, at least character-wise, one original hero to every 3 epic heroes, does that formula work for you guys?
Fine for me.
Yeah, it does. As we still have a lot of original heroes that we haven't seen in any rendition, so I think that's fine for now. My concern is once all those originals come out, now there's going to be this void of content. 2 months of time, and then they're going to have to find something to fill that void. So that's honestly what I'm hoping for the most, is how they adjust once all the original heroes are out. Because in the grand scheme of things, there's not that many. If anybody can do quick math in the chat and let me know how many are left and how long the time will take, because Fault was out for how long? 3 years?
Fault was out for 2.5.
2.5, and that flew like.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Because they came out July 2020 and they shut down August 2022. So just over 2 years.
November 1st.
November 1st. So 2 years and 4 months. So close.
Close to 2.5 years.
Okay, yeah. So regardless, that time frame from start to finish, at least in my opinion, went by very, very quickly. And
it did. Yeah. To sit there and think back that it was almost 2.5 years now that I started this, and I became a Fault partner at that time, and all that stuff. That time flew by, 100%. I think that number, currently talking right now, I think that number is fine, but I say that not knowing how the release of the next hero is going to be and how they're quickly going to change that next hero, because when we saw Narbash come out, Narbash come out in closed beta 2, he was strictly like crazy overpowered, right? And it was like, oh my gosh, that's insane, right?
I was obviously not to go through that,
right?
I wasn't here,
and that was. Luckily, that was only it was only a brief time that it came out. There was like 11-day closed beta, and they brought it out halfway through. So he was there for 6 days, we'll say, right? So it wasn't long that it was like, it's not like he was going crazy, but you could tell he was overpowered. So I have yet to see them release a hero and how quickly they're going to release that balance patch to fix that hero that is overpowered. I get MOBAs. That's a MOBA thing, that you're going to release a hero. When you release a hero, they come out strong. right? It just because you want that hero to be attractive for other people, for the community to purchase that hero. I completely understand that.
Right.
But how often and how quick are they going to be able to correct that balance? And when you implement that,
that's an interesting point, because they are planning on doing one hero per month.
Right.
So does that mean we're going to get a broken hero every month?
Right.
I understand what you're saying, because track record shows that it's not just strong, pretty fucking busted.
Yeah. Because when Xena came out, she was fucking strong.
Yeah, she was.
No, she wasn't. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Xena main.
She's not. You still say she's not. I watched a video saying.
Pretty sure she had 100%
have you seen me teleporting everywhere with Xena right now? Trust me, bro. Can't find out if she's fucking busted. I try to play Xena, bro. I feel like I'm playing Portal in this bitch, bro.
This girl's whatever, unstoppable. I think you said, or some word.
Yeah, I might have been talking about myself. I'm kidding. But no, I mean, you bring up a fair point, right? Like, it's at this point they've established a track record of beyond broken characters, so I think it's going to be very important. And a lot of people don't realize this too. Like, they just became a live service game. For years, they've been play for the weekend, we'll shut that shit off. Play for a week, shut it off. Play for another weekend, shut that shit off. We'll play for 2 weeks, shut that shit off. It was finally the first time in years that they've been a live service game. They have to answer to the fans that are holding them accountable on a consistent basis, and they made promises that they have to keep. Because even for a big studio, one hero per month is a big fucking order. That's a lot of manpower, a lot of coordination, a lot of money that's being used, right?
That's only one more week than Paragon.
Yeah, because Paragon had it every 3 weeks.
Every 3.
Yeah, Paragon was every 3 weeks. That's only one more week.
And we saw how Epic and with Paragon were not able to balance heroes properly because of how quickly they were releasing. Like, it's very hard to analyze data when they're gonna have 1 month worth of data, which sometimes isn't even enough. There's a reason why League introduces a hero like once per season, right? Like, 1 month worth of data is not enough, regardless of how many people you got playing, to be able to imperatively say, hey, this is what's happening.
Yeah, there's no amount of testing that you know where to get their data from is once they release it to the masses. It's not necessarily on the testing end. On the testing end, I think is to make sure the character runs properly and stuff like that. But that data needed to make balance changes is going to come when the masses hit and they get all this game data and stuff like that. But go ahead, Britta, you're about to say something.
Yeah, no, and I was just gonna say on just the show before this, on the Predecessor, we were talking about it, and Jay probably brought up how he feels Crunch isn't overpowered. So there was 5 of us on that show, tonight, and the 5 of us, I would say, were split in that opinion, right? And if the 5 of us are split in that opinion, how can you make a balance on that, right? How do you balance? All right, well, if half of you think he's overpowered, half of you think he's not overpowered, how do we now go in and make balance changes to Crunch? How do we fix that situation, right? That's why you need more data points, right? You need more time to do that, and is a month enough time to do that, right?
Right.
Or if they are that overpowered, is a month enough? Is a month too long to play with an overpowered character? Right? How many? So let's say because we also know that Predecessor is going to come out with a hero every month, right? We don't know if it's going to be exactly a month apart, right, in their time frames, but we know that December they're going to drop a hero, January they're going to drop a hero, February they're going to drop a hero, right? And let's say I'm only saying this just to bring up a conversation. Let's say Predecessor heroes don't come out as overpowered, right? Mm-hmm. Overprime's characters, they come out and they're just overpowered. Let's say they drop Crunch next, and he's just strong as fuck, and you guaranteed, you put a Crunch in the game, that's the team that wins, guaranteed. Nothing we can do about it. Who's gonna stay and play that game when they know they can just go over here and play the other game and not have to worry about that strong hero all the time?
Right.
Well, I will say, like,
developers, you have to take that in consideration. You have to be like, okay, look, we got to work on this. So that's something that you got to be able to work on. And if you're releasing a hero every month, that means your testers are trying to test and make sure that they're, we're looking at trying to test. Not only are you working on making him, making this hero make his kit work, right? We want to make sure that, hey, when we press his Q, everything happens. When we press his E, everything happens. Obviously, you want to make sure there's no bugs, but you also got to make sure he's balanced as well before you release him, right? Again, release him strong, I get it, but overpowered is an issue.
Well, so here's where I'll counteract you a bit. I still think that the strongest arsenal that Paragon The Overprime has is their free-to-play status, where even if they fuck up with a hero, just the sheer fact that it's free-to-play will have them a leg up. Now, it's a hindrance to release a hero too strong, because then that means they have more to balance after the fact, right? Like finding that sweet spot's going to be a little bit harder. Like, you get me? Like, if you're sailing from Europe to North America and you land all the way in fucking Brazil, right? When you're trying to hit Florida, it'd be like, all right, bro, you kind of overshot it a little bit too much. But if you landed in Cuba, hey, you're not that fucking far. You just got to tweak a little bit more. Just to give an example, right? I don't know why the fuck I chose sailing as that example. But
so I get what you're saying, but let's put us as streamers in this situation, in this category, right? Let's say you're streaming to 50 streamers, right? Or 50 viewers, right? And I start my stream, but I put my streamers on subscribers only. Okay, so you got to pay to watch my stream, right? In a sense, right? I know technically you can actually watch it without subscribing, but you can't.
Yeah, I get you. Just for the example purpose. I got you.
Example, right? But you're doing something that just your viewers just aren't enjoying, right? And they have to come over to my stream and pay, right? Or there's already let's say you have 20 of your viewers are already subscribed to me anyways. Are they going to stay and watch you, or are they going to leave? Why would you? Because
that's a fair point.
Still part of the community that's going to pay that already paid for Predecessor, right? So it's not like, oh well, I could either stay here or I got to pay for that one. No, I already paid for that one. I'm just going to go over there, right? And you don't want. That's not how you want to lose your community. You don't want somebody to be like, all right, our viewers dropped or our players dropped in that situation. That's what I'm getting at.
No, you bring up a fair point, because it is one of those things that people will pay for quality, and you got to make sure that, especially being free to play, if you give them free to play and quality, then they have all the reasons to stay.
Exactly.
But if you give them free to play and it's just even a tiny little bit off, like, you get me? I know plenty of people that are just, some of them are like, yo, McDonald's is shit. That's where I get my burgers. And then other people that is like, hey man, don't even fucking mention a McDonald's burger. I'll go to a proper restaurant or I'll make my own burger before I eat at McDonald's.
Right. Yeah.
So it's very easy to lose clientele by slipping up. But if they can actually execute it properly, and they're free to play, and they do proper marketing, because we've seen some of their marketing that they've been doing. But on Twitter, I was just scrolling through Twitter, and I saw Steam actually shared a picture of the Steam Deck saying, hey, new epic game, Paragon The Overprime, sorry, new Netmarble game, Paragon The Overprime works great on Steam Deck. Check it out. And I was like, well, fuck, I kind of want a Steam Deck now.
Does it work on a controller?
Touche.
Yeah, touche.
Damn, I can't. Yeah, fuck, touche.
I don't know.
That one doesn't make sense, actually.
I'm not trying to be the negative Nancy here, all right? I'm just trying to point out things that need to get worked on. That's all I'm saying. Again,
different console. That's my only argumentative point I can have.
Bro, but I mean, that's a fair point, bro. It's the joysticks, same button layout, essentially. Well, fuck, I don't know, bro.
Sony needs to call Steam Deck, be like, yo, what did you do? Let me copy and paste. Let me put it in here so we can solve this issue.
Or hold on. You might have just mentioned it. The main reason that controller players were able to play on controller before was because of Steam integration, not because of solely integration. Right,
but this game's cross-platform. It works on Epic too, right? What does the Epic gamers player do? What do the Epic?
I don't think they do.
Gamers, right? So they're like you.
But what I'm saying is,
yeah,
the reason they're able to use the joysticks and the buttons is because it's a Steam device,
right?
Yeah.
That has that Steam software already in it,
right?
So that configuration and everything might just be 100% Steam's doing, not Netmarble / Soul Eve. Which, by all means, they really got to get on that shit.
So let's talk about their marketing, though. You brought up their marketing, and this is another thing that we've actually talked about this in some of the DMs with a few of our other friends, right? A lot of their marketing that I've gotten from them is not from them. It's from a Twitter parody account.
Their fan page, bro. That fan page, whoever the fuck is running that, is doing a great fucking job.
They are, but in my opinion, and I'm being the
I thought it was the real account for the longest until fucking Elon Musk forced them to write parody in the name, bro.
That's an issue to me. That's not like I'm looking when I think parody, right? I know Elon Musk forced that situation, right? But when I think parody, I'm thinking of Weird Al Yankovic, that's doing a parody song.
Like not authentic.
It's all funny. It's not.
Spoof.
This is a spoof. This is a joke. This is not actual real, right? So when they make an announcement on there, when they made the announcement of PS4, I didn't think it was real. I'm like, nope. That for one, they already did a video a whole year ago about doing PS5. This isn't real. This whole PS4. This is a spoof. I didn't believe it, right? And that's not good marketing, in my opinion.
Bro, that parody account has like double the following that the main account has. It's wild. They're doing a great fucking job.
Well, they're marketing. Yeah, if I was that fan, like that fan account, they need a job. Fucking awesome.
They need a fucking job, bro.
But when it comes to PTO themselves, I don't feel like they're doing a good job.
I have a hunch that, and I know I'm coming back, interrupting, but I have a hunch that whoever is running the Facebook and Reddit group is the one running that page as well, because it's the same person for both.
And it could be.
Yeah, it could be.
Dude, honestly, I thought it was Mangoose for the longest until I found out it wasn't. I was convinced. Bro, I thought it was convinced because he's like, I don't got a Twitter. I was like, this would be the only fucking way he makes a Twitter. It's got to be fucking man. It's not Mangoose. I asked him and he said it's not. Now, he could be a good liar, but I'm like, yo.
Mangoose isn't a liar.
Agreed. But it just, I agree with you to the point that they have a missed opportunity where they don't market certain things. They just put it in the work in progress tab. Or for them, that's not worth advertising or sharing a tweet about it, etc. And this fan account, all they do is share shit from that work in progress tab. The moment it gets posted on there, they share.
Progress. That was Gen Chat. That was Ranger talking in Gen Chat saying, "Hey, we have a PS4 dev kit."
Yeah, that was a DM.
That was a. Yeah.
I think it started as a DM, and then once he got the okay, then it got posted in the Gen, and then all.
It was not a work in progress situation. Yeah. That's one thing that I love about them over Predecessor is their work in progress and Fault. I was telling Fault nonstop, give us a work in progress page, post something, give us something, because they went silent there for the longest time. Obviously now we understand why, but. That work in progress page, I love it. I love it because you just get a little snippet, and it's not anything.
There's like a picture or some shit.
Yeah, it's just a little something. Hey, here we're working, guys, and it shows that, right? Not that we think that they're not working. Not that we know they're taking some time off now, well-needed time off because now they dropped early access. But not that we don't think they're working. But it just shows. It gives us a little insight into what they're doing. Like, hey, this is how my day is going today, guys. This is what I got. This is what I completed.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that little work in progress, right? But when it comes to, and Predecessor's bad with this as well. Predecessor won't use their announcement tab. They'll just use the social post tab, right? And it's just like there's certain things like I feel that the official Paragon Twitter, this should be posted. This is something that you guys should make an announcement.
Yeah.
Because we said this so many times on the Fault Partner panel, not everyone
is on Discord or something.
Not everyone is in Discord at that exact time that Ranger dropped the nugget that, hey, we have a PS4 dev kit. And we got to trust a Twitter account that says parody? Like, that tells me spoof. That tells me you're pulling my leg. That means you don't know what you're talking about.
So, because
I know a Pred fanboy created that and just trying to make shit up.
I mean, fair, but I will say, so they find themselves in a tricky situation now, given that account is there, because that account is doing a great fucking job, especially if they're unpaid.
Yep.
Why would you as a company hire somebody to do what somebody's already doing for free at an excellent rate?
I'm not saying hire somebody, but you just have somebody you're already paying do it.
Well, but that's you're then paying them to do that as opposed to what they were originally supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? And they do have multiple community managers in multiple different regions.
Responsibility is thrown on top of me all the time. It happens.
I mean, fair. That's jobs in general.
Yeah, that's jobs.
Be like,
So
you signed up for A. Well, good thing you can do B, C, and D. By all means.
That's just how it works. And I don't care. Yeah, them posting that on social medias, they're still going to be able to do their A job they got hired for. It's still going to happen. Like I get what you're saying, but that's not enough for you. Think about that, right?
I get what you're saying. Like, it's a valid point, but not enough to.
How many people
actually
are being pushed away and looking at say parody and like, nope, I don't trust it, and walk away, right? They don't know they don't understand what's going on, right? How many of those people would actually still be here if they saw it come from the main account?
I mean, fair point to you. If that one person with a parody account isn't on Facebook, Reddit, etc., Instagram, even though we're all getting those updates on Twitter and we love it, the rest of the fan base might not be getting that update.
Right.
That's rough. Like, that is rough. And even if that one person stretches themselves thin, like, I don't disagree with you that it still falls on the responsibility of the company to know that their marketing is going properly. And if they're doing all these reviews and they're paying for Steam to advertise their product on the Steam Deck and everything, the least you could do is be as efficient as an account made by some Joe Schmo that is excelling at the marketing department. Right?
Right.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm still torn, bro. Because here's the thing. I can put up with a shitty match. I can put up with a super strong hero, specifically in ranked. Ban the hero, right? When there is a ranked, right? I can put up with having to grind to get to the rank. What I struggle with is the fact that I start the game and it's not a smooth experience from front to start since the early access. Like, it's not smooth. Like, I'm talking about
front to start.
Front to back, yeah. I'm tired of shit. You're totally right. Yeah.
Like, my brain.
I'm not judging.
Anyway,
I'm judging what you do.
anyway, from front to back, it is not a smooth experience. It really isn't. At least for me, since the early access, and it was flawless on the final test.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, so, and I get what you're saying, but we went through this with Fault, right? Fault does here's the huge. We did patch 13. Patch 13 was amazing. Patch 14 comes out, and all of a sudden we took 2 steps back. What the fuck happened, right? You know, it's like that. You do that, right? We had our final test patch. Now we have our early access patch. Something happened. We got to find it. We got to fix it. We got to bring it out, right? So let's just hope, because you brought light to it, you posted a video on it, and we take that video, we posted in feedback, that they can take that situation and we can mimic it and try to figure it out and do what we got to do to get that taken care of. Because you're right, it does suck. I'm not that chatter like, well, hey, I watched 2 EU streamers and it didn't happen, so it just sucks to suck, you know. No, it happened to you. Something happened. We got to figure it out. Let's get that, because if it happened to you, it may have happened to 4,000 other people that are playing the game, and we don't want that to happen. We want everybody to have a great experience. So what are we going to do to fix it?
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. But all right, guys, I think we actually kept this one to an hour, so I say let's try and leave it at an hour, unless there's something else you guys want to add last minute.
No, I do want to let the community know, the people who are still here watching, I appreciate you all hanging out. And if you do want to be a guest host on this show, reach out to all 3 of us, mainly me, because Windu doesn't answer anything. Even if you call him on his phone, doesn't answer it.
That's just on do not disturb mode 24/7.
You can find me at the Bearded Wolverine. You just find me in the Overprime Discord. You'll see me, and reach out to me. Let me know you want to be a guest host on the show, and we will schedule you on the show. We are trying to do this on Monday nights, weekly show, and we're looking at around 8:30 p.m. is what we're trying for a start time. We got to get the Predecast smoothed out so we can get that one going as an hour, and then we'll get this one going for an hour, and we'll have a good 2 shows going back to back.
Yep. Every Monday night we do a Predecessor podcast and then Paragon The Overprime podcast. You guys are more than welcome to interact live, and if you are watching this after the fact on YouTube, we appreciate support everywhere. So if you guys did make it this far, please leave a GG in the comments. And let's do this in the same order that we introduce ourselves. Tell the Paragon The Overprime community a little message from us to them, and then from there, just tell people what you got going on.
Yep. So again, everybody watching and the Paragon The Overprime community, I am Menace Rex. You guys can find me on all socials, Menace Rex. I do stream daily, and I do make content creation daily. Things might be slowing up a little bit because I'm moving to Florida. So if you see me not active, that's probably why. But the moment I am able to go live again and do all that, trust me, I will. Just a little note, and I said this about fall, and I say this as just a way of living. Keep your expectations low, and you never get disappointed. Hope for the best, but obviously prepare for the worst.
My favorite saying that I thought of myself in that situation is don't get your hopes up, but never give up hope. With that, I appreciate all of you hanging out. And what I want to also say, for those of you who aren't on Discord, who might be watching this through YouTube, leave a comment. I read the comments on all of these shows on Windows channel. So if you leave a comment saying you want to be on the show, I will reach out to you via YouTube or whatever, and we will definitely make something work as well. So either way, if you want to be a guest host, I'm reachable on all of my socials, which you can find me at Bearded Wolverine on all of them. I do also post YouTube content. I did post 2 Predecessor Paragon The Overprime videos just recently. So I'm hoping those kind of take off. You can find those Bearded Wolverine at YouTube. I'm excited to bring the show to you guys because I want to bring a good constructive criticism opinion to the community, and I want to hear your guys' constructive criticism because this is what's going to help Team Soul Eve help make this game great, and that's what we all want in the end. What I say to the community though as well is treat everyone with kindness. When we all join into these games, you'll see there's people that don't know what they're doing, right? Not everyone played OG Paragon. Not everyone knows what a MOBA is, right? So when you see somebody just running around, not knowing what they're going on, try to help them out. Not everyone's going to take that constructive criticism, in chat. Fine. That is what it is. But that doesn't mean flame them. That doesn't mean treat them like shit. Just move on. Because if you push them away, you're going to, I've seen people kill the community, in my opinion, help kill Fault. Right? When you push that, you bring Fault down to 150, players the whole time. That was part of the community that helped.
Speaking from experience, all of us have experience.
Yeah. So don't give them the benefit of the doubt and help them. Take them under your wing and help them out. So other than that, I appreciate all of you hanging out. Have a good one.
All right, and then on my 2 cents, I'm just gonna say the game is fun, but that doesn't mean we have to start the constant team fights at 90 seconds, guys. Like, I don't know. Like, I kid you not, I had like 4 matches in a row the other day. The minions aren't even in the lane, and there's already like 4-on-4 team fights breaking out, bro. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. I'm like, all right, so the team fight kind of calmed down, back to lane, and then a 4-man gank I'm doing. I'm like, yo, does anybody lane in this game? And I know once the bell curve of the MMR fixes itself and everything, and then ranked and etc., people take it a little bit more serious. But the game is very, very fun, but there are a couple of very oppressive strats, like just constant invading, constant ganking, and you can get away with not even farming half the time. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to abuse those strats that we found and ruin it for the new players, because there are new players leaving this game just because in the first 5 minutes their team has 13 deaths, like some crazy shit. So just be mindful. Don't let them win. Still play, because the MMR has to sort itself out, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do trolly shit like invade at 60 seconds or that. It's not that fucking sweaty. The game just came out on early access.
I get what you're saying, and it's not even just invading. And I'm sorry to interrupt and your closeouts, but like I literally came in, and at the end of the night when everybody goes to bed, I come in, I'll jump in on while you're streaming, I'll kind of hang out with you guys, right? And I'm watching your stream, and I literally watch you guys like literally team fight, and then as you guys are dying, you guys are coming back to the same team fight. Like it's just literally like you're killing one of them, they're killing one of you, and it's just a non-stop team fight that just keeps happening. And that's something that I think Overprime, the devs need to fix. Like something needs to happen. I don't know if it's the respawn timers that need to be adjusted again or what, but like we as a community also can fix this by not just having just nonstop team fights.
Not encouraging that behavior.
I get team fights are fun in this game, and I 100% agree with you. I do enjoy a good team fight, but that doesn't mean it has to be from second one to the last second. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's just wild.
Sorry.
No, you're chilling. And as far as content, I mean, as we mentioned, this is our very first Primecast episode that we're hosting. Hopefully you guys like it. We do have the Predecessor cast as well that we discussed, the other competitor in the series. And at the end of the day, guys, I mean, just follow the socials, follow the content. I reached 5,000 Twitch followers literally like 2 days ago, so that's spicy. That's a new goal that we got to. We reached our goal in YouTube of 2,000 subscribers, so that's spicy. See if we can beat the next one. Currently focusing on Instagram and Twitter, but yeah, just follow on other socials. We appreciate you all being here. If you guys like the takes that these other gentlemen here with me had, go and follow them. You won't regret it. But as always, we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Also, leave a comment down below what you guys think we can do to help fix this episode or make this episode better. Not fix. Fix makes it sound like bad, but make it better. Make it a better experience for you guys because we want to improve for you guys.
For sure. We take all feedback and we apply it by all means. And if it's shitty feedback, Bearded applies it. I'm kidding. I'm joking. All right. Much love, homies. Y'all be safe.
Hey, your ketchup stain went away. I just realized it.
Nah. That's just there, bro. The lighting is blinding it. That's what it is.
I was about to say.
I fucking can't with you, right?